Today I just want to spend some time and talk to you about Crohn's disease. What is Crohn's disease? I woke up this morning and it's kind of a beautiful, misty, cold spring morning, and it just reminded me of the day I found out that I had Crohn's. It was about 4 years ago, and it was just like today. It was cold, it was misty, it was about ready to burst into a rainstorm, and it was a spring morning, and I was up in a hospital in Mallow, and that's located in Southern Ireland. I used to live in Ireland, and that morning the doctor told me that I had Crohn's, and I had no idea what that was. I had no idea what Crohn's disease was and what that meant, and all I knew that I was really sick, and I had been sick for a long time, and I needed help. And my friend was a doctor up in Mallow, and I actually lived in Cork, and the doctors there were misdiagnosing me, and they thought I was allergic to certain foods and that I was probably lactose intolerant, and they were doing all these different tests. And eventually my friend was like, to me it sounds like you have an inflammatory bowel disorder. So she organized a day for me to come up to Mallow where she worked and to get a colonoscopy. And I got a colonoscopy there, and the doctor confirmed that I had Crohn's. And it was a really sad day for me. I remember my husband picking me up from the hospital, and it was still early in the morning, and we had about an hour drive home, and we just sat in the car, and I just cried, and it started to rain, and I just felt so sad. I thought my life was over. I had this disease, and it's a chronic illness. It'll never go away. It's not curable, and it made me really sad. But a couple weeks later, I decided, well, Brooke, you can either just feel sorry for yourself and that you have this disease, or you can do something about it. And so I decided that it's going to be my new hobby, to learn everything I could about Crohn's, and to just learn how to deal with it, and learn what to eat and not to eat, and what to do to help myself, and hopefully eventually help others. And this became really exciting for me, and I researched and I searched the internet for different things, and I read books and I asked people, and there was a lot of conflicting suggestions and conflicting ideas on what to do and what to eat and how to best deal with Crohn's disease. So anyway, I figured out that the best diet to be on is the specific carbohydrate diet, SCD. And there's been a lot of evidence showing that this diet actually helps decrease inflammation, and that these foods, these specific carbohydrates that you eat, are okay, and certain carbohydrates are not okay. And so for me, it's worked. It's been 4 years since I first found out that I had Crohn's, and at the time when I found out, I was deathly ill. I was literally crawling to the bathroom, no lie, to vomit and go diarrhea and everything, and I was so sick, and I would pass out. I had bruises along my side from just like falling over and just being super weak, and I've gone from that to today. I'm super healthy. I can run and exercise and do everything I need to do. I'm married and I have 3 adorable boys, and I'm able to take care of them and make sure they have a very happy and active lifestyle. And I really believe that this diet, SCD, has just really changed my life. So that's why I started my website called crohnskitchen.com. And this website's amazing because it has all these recipes on it that you can eat that helps decrease inflammation. I realize that the SCD diet is kind of hard to follow, right? Not everyone can do it because it's pretty extreme, and it might be overwhelming to a lot of people. So I came up with like my top 3 things to do if you've got Crohn's, or if you've got IBD or IBS or chronic diarrhea or ulcerative colitis or any sort of inflammatory disease. If you follow these 3 tips, I really think that they will help you. I know because they've helped me. First off, stop drinking milk, okay? I grew up hearing that milk does the body good. Well, for my body, it didn't do any good. Milk has lactose in it. Lactose is really hard to break down, and instead of breaking down, bad bacteria come in and fester and feed off this, and it's just really bad, and it causes inflammation. So stop drinking milk, stop drinking chocolate milk, stop using milk in cereals. It's no good. I literally have stopped drinking milk. I haven't had a glass of milk in 4 years. Instead, I use unsweetened almond milk, and at first it's kind of gross, let's be honest. It's just so different than milk, but you get used to it, and it's okay. And your body adjusts and your taste adjusts, and I really like almond milk now. So Give it a try. The first time you have it, if you think it's gross, that's okay. Just keep trying it, and eventually you'll like it. Costco, I saw, also has a lactose-free milk. So they've taken normal dairy milk and they've run it through a process to take out the lactose, and they put enzymes in there to break down the lactose so that there's no lactose left in the milk. So that might be a good option. Tip number 2 is to eat yogurt. I know that sounds funny, I just told you not to drink milk, but you've got to eat a lot of yogurt. I would suggest eating 1 cup of yogurt every single day. And I'll tell you why. Just think of your gut like a football stadium, okay? And there's all these seats, so many seats. And it's gonna be a sellout crowd, so every seat is gonna be taken, okay? And if you don't fill your seats, your stadium full of good bacteria, then bad bacteria will come in and take all the seats. And if your stadium or if your gut is full of bad bacteria, then it will not allow things to be broken down properly. It'll cause inflammation, and then you'll start having diarrhea and inflammation, and then you start getting really sick. And so you've got to eat a lot of good yogurt. Now, my 3rd tip is don't eat sugar. I know that's really hard. I used to be, I don't know, I have a sweet tooth. I love sugar. I always have. And I know when I grew up, my mom, no joke, my mom had a batch of homemade chocolate chip cookies in the oven, and I could smell them. I'd walk up to the house and I was just like, oh, so nice. I'd sit down and I'd have a hot chocolate chip cookie right out of the oven with a tall glass of ice cold milk. But yeah, sugar. I was listening to a podcast about Crohn's disease, and there was a doctor, and the interviewer asked her, what are the top 3 foods that you should avoid? What are the 3 worst foods to eat if you have Crohn's disease? And she's like, oh, that's so easy. It's sugar, sugar, and sugar. So there you go. You gotta stop eating all the cookies and brownies and cakes and caramel and all the good stuff. You gotta stop eating that because that just causes inflammation. And that's kind of what the SED diet is all about, okay? It's trying to figure out what foods turn to sugar quickest, and those are the foods you need to avoid. So white bread turns to sugar pretty fast, and so you don't want to eat bread. Any sort of bread is against the diet, but especially white bread. Pastas, rice, potatoes, these things have a lot of starch and a lot of carbohydrate in it, and it turns to sugar really fast. And again, sugar is the worst thing for you. Well, I'm not perfect, and sometimes I cheat on my diet. And if it's my birthday, if it's Christmas, or if it's Easter, or it's a big celebration, then yeah, I'll let myself have a little bit. But honestly, it's funny because after I eat it, I always feel sick. I always have a stomach ache because I haven't eaten it for a long time. That sugar is really intense, and it makes me feel gross. And so you gotta be careful, because afterwards, after I eat it, I'm always like, not worth it. So remember my 3 tips. Visit crohnskitchen.com. I've got a lot of recipes. I've started a YouTube channel on how to make different recipes, and I'm going to talk with you a lot about different tips and different things I do. And I've been healthy for 4 years, so this is exciting. And yeah, again, when I woke up this morning, it just reminded me of that day 4 years ago when I found out I had Crohn's, and I felt so sad. And now look at me, 4 years later, I'm super healthy, I'm happy, I'm enjoying life, and Crohn's is not stopping me. It's not changing my lifestyle. It's not inhibiting me from living the life I want to live. And I know that you can do it too. So if you have Crohn's and you're sad about it, or you're really struggling, then I'm here to help you. I've lived through it, and I know it can be hard. I know it can be tough, but you can do it. Okay, crohnskitchen.com is a great resource for you. There's a lot of recipes on there, and again, I have a YouTube channel as well, and I think we can be healthy. And my motto is eat well and love it. There's gonna be a lot of recipes that are delicious, and you're gonna absolutely love it and be happy, and you're not gonna feel deprived. So have a good day, guys. See you later.